Well, we are sitting in the start of the second week of the negotiations here in Paris, COP21. We must say, irrespective of what our governments agree or do not agree at COP21, we are not going to wait to start this process of the just transition.
For us, the just transition is impossible to do without social dialogue. It's an important instrument to achieve, with the support of the workers, good wages, good social protection, and good working places adapted to the economy free of carbon.
One of the main challenges is to make sure that people in countries that don't have social floors, that those social floors are in place. Why? Because many countries are going to experience massive impacts of climate change. And then people will need access to health care, they'll need access to disaster relief and emergency services and housing and all those other things. Those things are going to be essential.
We did not create the climate crisis, because we're from a poor country. We understand that we are contributing to the carbon emission, but because we are not primarily responsible for the crisis, we should not suffer, in the transition towards a low carbon economy. Instead, we demand that government should provide finances so that we can transform our motor engines from fossil fuel combusting engines into electric engines that we can use.
At this point, it's really about mobilizing and organizing. As I said earlier today, environmental groups were not always so good at mobilizing and organizing people. We just don't always resonate with people's top concerns. So we need to get together with other forces in society, workers being one of the big ones, faith groups being another.
Nobody ever imagined that colonialism and apartheid in particular will come to an end. And trade unions were central in the fight against colonialism and in the fight against apartheid. So as much as climate change seemed like a huge issue, at least it affects everybody, whatever race, color, gender, sexual orientation. We are all affected by climate change. And I think because of that, we can use it as a rallying point.
I think what is important for the labor movement now is how do we work together with the other social movements around the world who are fighting for climate justice. I think it's important for us to realize that the fight for just transition is just part of the broader fight for climate justice, and that's something that we should never forget.